So like in these videos, like, you know, the last one, I didn't go like, what's up guys, welcome back to the Educated Barful. I don't have to do that every time. Right?
No, just
get right into it. Today's cocktail is another stirred cocktail, which by the way, you'll be watching this sometime in the fall, so it makes sense. But you know what? I'm actually shooting this in the summertime, in July. And I think that stirred cocktails that are really looked at as like fall types of drinks should really be normalized in the summer because yes, you do want refreshing things sometimes in the summertime, but you know what? What if you're just like in like a super hot night, you know, out at the bar, on the patio? Sometimes I like a stirred drink, and the stirred drinks are just as cold and refreshing and wonderful. I mean, who doesn't love a cold ass martini on a hot day? So why couldn't you have a cold ass, you know, Manhattan variation with a bunch of Amari in there and on a hot day and feel sated? I think you would. I think you should challenge yourself to do that. I gotta say, I think that this is my most proud moment. Like, I actually finally have a copy of the book that I wrote. It took me a year and a half to write this book. I'm very proud of it, and it's gonna be available October 7th, but it's on pre-order right now. So I would just implore everyone to go buy a book. The more books you buy, the better it is for me, and then I can make another book for you guys. I'm already thinking about new books, but I'm just super proud of this, and I just hope that you guys really enjoy it. So go out. There is a Genius link below this video, or in the link in bio if you're on Instagram, and buy this book. I think you guys will really like it, and I worked really hard on it, and I love you guys, and you love me, and I love you, and you love me. It's a love fest over here, so pick up my book. Anyway, today's cocktail is another cocktail with a freaking brilliant name. I love bartenders that are able to title their cocktails something awesome, because a lot of my cocktails are titled something not so awesome. They're just not great at making names. It's called the Desk Job. The Desk Job was created by a guy named, and this is not a fake name, Donnie Clutterbuck, all right? It sounds like a name that you would give to someone when you don't want to give them your name, your real name. But it is his real name. And he works at a bar called Cure, which is, well, it's a French restaurant slash bar called Cure, not to be confused with the bar of the same name in New Orleans that just released a book. Cure in Rochester, New York is still open, so if you want to go and make a reservation and ask them for this drink, they might be able to make it for you. I don't know if they will be, but they might be able to make it for you. It is a Manhattan variation served over a big rock. We're gonna be stirring it in a stirring glass. Because, you know, you can do that, you know. It's actually nice to stir it in a stirring glass and pour it over a big rock as opposed to putting it in a glass. We're not going to have the same talk that we had a couple videos ago.
Yeah, just go watch that video.
Yeah, go watch that video, and if you want to see me talk at length about it, you can. And if not, if you don't want to see me talk at length, down below are some chapters that Mary has put in for you guys. You guys go straight to the recipe. All right, let's get into it. So this is gonna be equal parts cocktail, 3 of 3/4, equal parts of 3/4. We're gonna be using Punt E Mes, which is a vermouth Amaro hybrid. Very good, good enough to be drank on its own. It's lovely, I love it. But if you're wondering, even though this is kind of an Amaro, it is also a vermouth. It must be kept in the fridge, it is wine. So 3/4 of an ounce of Punt E Mes. 3/4 of an ounce of our favorite artichoke Amaro Cynar.
What's the alternative? You said our favorite artichoke.
Oh, I'm sure there's other Carciofo, which is see, this is what a lot of people don't realize about Amaro, is that even though they are loose categories, they break down into categories. And Carciofo is the category of Amari that has a base spirit made with artichoke. So, I don't know, Faccia Bruto makes it.
Do we have it?
They do have a Carciofo. I don't know if we have the Carciofo. I can look. Just follow me this way. Come on, guys. Let's take a look at what we got. Did I put it? Oh, it's up here. Yeah, let's see. Do we have it? No. Yeah, we have it. Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. Here we go. Carciofo. That's not to say that they're trying to make Cynar. They're not. Carciofo is well, I wouldn't say it's a huge category of Amari. It is a established category of Amari, and Cynar is just one of those. But just because you're making a Carciofo doesn't mean you're trying to make Cynar. You're just trying to make something in that category. Faccia Bruto makes amazing Amari, so you should check them out. Okay, now we're gonna do 3/4 an ounce of Smith & Cross, one of our favorite overproof aged Jamaican rums. Throw that in there, and then just because He uses it in the original recipe, and we have it. We're using the Ronzacapa 23, which is a Solera style rum, and we're doing 3/4 of an ounce of that into our glasses. So let's go grab our massive thing of ice, shall we? There we go. Oh, let's not forget the crucial first step of breaking up a couple of ice cubes.
And why do you do that?
We like to break up ice cubes because we want to get little shards in there. A lot of people go, why do you break up the ice cube? You're getting little shards in there. It's gonna over dilute it. No, it won't. You actually want the ice shards in there. And the reason why is because stirring a cocktail is such a poor way of not only diluting, but also chilling something that it actually takes a while for the cocktail to get down to equilibrium. We like to pack it with ice, as much ice as it can hold, really, because that will give you, I always get confused. Is it like higher surface area, lower surface area?
Which one?
When you're like packing ice into it's like, I'm always like, you get a higher surface area of ice, more cocktail touching ice. The more ice there is in your drink, the less dilution, because the colder it will stay longer.
The more small cubes you have versus one large, the larger surface area you have.
Yeah, actually, small cubes are actually better than a big cube, technically, because anything that is under so any ice that is submerged in the chilled cocktail will keep it chilled, but anything above that will sweat. It'll start a heat exchange, and then obviously, I mean, it's exchanging heat the entire time, but it will do it more rapidly than what's below and chilled. And so you'll get you'll get more dilution, whereas like little cubes will actually fall into each other and stay submerged under the cocktail for longer. So technically, like cold draft ice, technically is better, but big rocks of ice are cool, and the extra dilution is minimal in the time that it takes to drink the drink. So I still recommend the big rock. So now we're talking about stirring a cocktail. Marius is like, hey, you should tell people like when to know. And you know, the funny thing about stirring cocktails is that when to know is just a feeling that you get over years and years and years of doing it. But this cocktail is a little bit more deceptive because this cocktail is being served over a big rock. And when you stir a cocktail that's served over a big rock, you actually don't want to add a ton of dilution to it because it's going to be served on that ice that's going to be melting. So what I like to do is give it a quick 30-second stir to chill it. Just give it some initial chill and a little bit of dilution. Then you add it to the rock, and the rock is going to do its thing over time. And then you're buying yourself about 25 minutes or so to drink the drink. If you drink it for more than 25 minutes, then you deserve all the dilution, the over dilution that's going to come your way. So when there's a drink that's being served up, you're going to want to make sure that you take that cocktail down to equilibrium. You want to add about 3/4 of an ounce or so of dilution. And then you also want to make sure that it's chilled down to its equilibrium point, about -3 degrees Celsius or so. And that just takes a little bit longer. You can taste through your cocktail with like a handy dandy tasting spoon like this. You just like dip it in here, stir it for a while. And like if you're new to this, I would suggest doing this. And then you just taste it to see where your cocktail is at over time. And then when you get it to where you're at, you're done. For me, it's about 45 to 50 seconds and then you're done. Okay, that's enough talking. We got this cocktail ready to pour. I did not pre-temper my ice, so hopefully we don't crack the ice and make a big mess of it, but I have this nicely cut cube here. Put that in there, get my strainer here. I like to pour it off the ice too, so that you kind of retain the shape of the ice as well, if you can. It just shifted, so I couldn't do it, unfortunately, but there you go. And then this calls for a lime twist, which you do not see very often in cocktails, but I can always appreciate it when you do. And just get those oils on top. We'll cut this into Marius's favorite shape. And we'll just throw it on the side of the glass. This is actually a little bit thicker of a glass. Here we go. The desk job. Let's give it a sip. Oh, wow. I love that because you get the funk of the Jamaican rum. The Zacapa has this kind of burnt caramel, kind of burnt sugar flavor to it, which is really, really nice and adds a bit of depth. And then you have the Jamaican Hogo bringing in those tropical flavors from that Smith & Cross. The Cynar bringing in some bitterness on the finish. The Punt E Mes Also bringing a little bit of bitterness, but then also brings in all of that kind of vermouthy goodness, that kind of tangy, vermouthy goodness. And then you have a little bit of that lime oil on top, giving just a little bite right there. It's super nice. I think refreshing for like a night cocktail in the summer. I feel very strongly about this. I feel like we've got to normalize drinking stirred drinks more often, because even when you're looking on Instagram, you're looking on YouTube, you're looking at all the cocktails that people are doing, they're doing mainly shaken cocktails because society has just deemed that shaken cocktails are more popular for whatever reason. I don't know if this is just because they're more refreshing, or people, you know, look at it and say, oh, that reminds me of, I don't know, vacation, or that reminds me of a hotel or something. I don't know, but I feel like stirred drinks have so much complexity. Well, I also think that people are also afraid of stirred drinks because it's all booze. There's no like juice and like there's not a lot of juice and like, you know, stuff to sort of break up the, you know, you're getting the alcohol, but for someone who really likes the flavor and wants to taste the spirit in the cocktails, what I'm trying to say, there's nothing better than stirred. And you know, honestly, we are so guilty of this too. We do not do enough stirred cocktails on this channel. We don't. We're doing more. We're doing good ones like this. So keep them cracking. Today's Educated Barfly video is sponsored by The Educated Barfly. I don't know if you guys know this, some of you do, some of you don't, but we've got lots of really good products in our store, and we are constantly adding to those products. One of our very new additions, freeze-dried garnishes. So whereas a dehydrated garnish gives you sort of like a more tea-like caramelized scent, the freeze-dried version of that is a little bit brighter, and then all the sugars when you freeze dry it come to the surface, and so you get a very bright, fresh orange flavor. These guys have been a real big hit since we put them in the store. We're getting lots of orders for them. We also have a little bit of glassware. We have our now kind of iconic Nick and Nora style glass that we did in the regular and honeycomb pattern. This is a 6-ounce glass, kind of Nick and Nora style. And we have a brand new, more coupe style glass. It's 7 ounces. We also have the honeycomb pattern in this as well. So if you're a fan of the channel and you want to help us out, this is a very good way to help the channel and then also get something out of it. A lot of this is the glassware that you see in our videos, and so you'll be able to recreate the same cocktails that we make in the studio at home with the best possible recipes, the best possible instructions, and now the best possible glassware and garnishes.
I don't know.
I mean, I've been going on tangents. The last one I talked for way longer than I even thought I could talk about it, so.
Right.
What should I talk about in this one? This is
this one you can like some tricks of know when to when it's properly stirred or diluted or cold or whatever, chilled, properly chilled. Because that's something, oh, look at the video, stirring video. But maybe in this one you tell them why.
Yeah, okay, can do that. It's supposed to be served on a rock. But we're gonna serve it up because
I know, that's okay, you said that in the beginning.
I know, I said at the beginning, but you know what's funny is that this whole video would have to be redone. Fucking get the cameras off. I'm out of here. I'm leaving.